Hi, welcome to another video. So, Gemini Code Assist has had a bunch of updates, and these updates actually make it kind of amazing. I thought I'd walk you through what's new and what's actually useful. If you haven't checked it out in a while, there's a decent amount that's changed here. First, Gemini Code Assist added support for managing multiple chats. You can have several chat sessions open at once and switch between them as needed. Along with that, there are multi-part chat code suggestions. So when Gemini suggests a series of code changes, you can accept a single change or all of them together. You can also specify and apply rules to each chat request, so you can guide how Gemini responds to your prompts. Next, IntelliJ Gemini Code Assist added support for including folders from your local workspace as context for your prompts. You just type @ and select the folder. This allows the assistant to access the contents of an entire folder, which is useful for bigger projects. The context window now supports up to 1 million tokens. Custom commands have also been introduced. You can create, save, and execute your own pre-configured prompts for repetitive tasks, making it easier to automate common workflows. This is found under Settings, Tools, Gemini, and Prompt Library. Also, chat responses with error messages now have action buttons, so you can quickly take the next step directly from the chat. Gemini Code Assist now uses the Gemini 2.5 model across chat, code generation, and code transformation. This brings better code understanding and higher quality suggestions. Next, the context drawer feature was added to VS Code. When you specify files or folders to use as context in your prompts, they're listed in the context drawer. You can review and remove them as needed, giving you more control over what information Gemini uses to answer your questions. In VS Code, chat responses now auto-scroll, which makes it easier to follow along with longer answers. This can be turned off in the settings. You can also stop in-progress chat responses if Gemini starts going off track. Clickable file names in chat responses are now supported, so if Gemini mentions a file, you can click to open it in your IDE. Files listed in your Git Ignore are now excluded from the local context during chat, code generation, and completion. You can now use AI Exclude and Git Ignore files to control which files Gemini ignores in your workspace. You can also select and attach specific code snippets to your chat context, so you can get targeted help on just a block of code instead of an entire file. Terminal output can be added to the chat context, so you can ask Gemini about a command's output by attaching it directly. Now let me show you how it all works, and how you can use these new updates as well. But before we do that, let me tell you about today's sponsor, FirstFrame AI. FirstFrame is a crazy AI tool that brings all the best video creation tools together in one place for one price. It features models like VO2, Kling, Hailuo, and many more that you can use to generate stunning videos. It also has a movie generator that allows you to create entire movies with multiple AI-generated clips and make a cohesive short film with just one prompt. You can even create GIFs to share with others in seconds. The best part about it is the movie generator that can literally generate whole short movies for you. It gives you access to all kinds of video generation models for just $13 per month, giving you about 3,000 credits monthly. There's also the $34 Diamond plan that gives you even higher limits. It gets even cheaper if you choose the annual plan. You can also use my coupon code AIKING25 to get an additional 25% discount on these already great deals. Make sure you check them out through the link in the description and build some cool stuff with it. Now, back to the video. First of all, open up VS Code and get Gemini Code Assist upgraded to the latest version. Now just open it up and you can see that this is what it looks like, and this is quite changed from before. At the bottom, you can see this new context bar. This is pretty good. It allows you to select or deselect what context it has. Like, if it gets some wrong context, then it can be removed, or things like that. Another thing is that if we go in the prompt box and just hit the @ symbol, then you can see that you can reference files and stuff like that, but you also get the tools option here as well. Tools are basically like MCP, but not standard. It is something that companies sign up for with Google, and then they add it. I don't know what that achieves instead of just implementing MCP. Anyway, they have some tools from some companies, and there are some Google ones as well, like the Google Docs integration that allows you to give it a Google Doc or stuff like that. There are also some more tools like GitHub, Mongo, and stuff like that as well. Apart from this, you also have this history option at the top. Previously, you couldn't have multiple sessions in one project without losing the previous history of chat, but now you can create multiple sessions. You can also navigate back and forth, and the session will keep working in the background if you have given it a task to accomplish or something like that. Another thing is that the context of the selected content in the file is now automatically added to the context in the chat. To confirm the addition, you can just hit the Add button and it will get added, which is seamless and allows you to chat about specific lines or blocks of code quite easily. Apart from this, you can also now add the context of terminal outputs to it. So, if you have an error in the terminal or something, then you can just go to the options, and then you'll see the new Explain with Gemini option, which will just add the context over to the chat. You can see the context here, and it also adds a prompt here, but you can also change the prompt accordingly. Now, if I write a simple prompt here and then send it over, then you'll see the option to stop the response midway if you think that you messed something up in the prompt, or if you think that the AI response is not going correctly, then you can stop it midway. If the response also includes a file name, then it will also now be linked immediately as well. Another thing is that it also now supports AI exclude files. So, you can create an AI exclude file and then write down file paths that you don't want to use in context for Gemini Code Assist and use that accordingly, which is pretty awesome as well. It also automatically ignores files that are in Git Ignore as well. So, that is also good. That's mainly what the updates in these new features are. They are also working on the agentic stuff that is currently under a wait list. And once that comes out and gets integrated, it should get kind of cool and be a good and free alternative to stuff like Klein, which will be cool to see. Also, the file creation and edit applying with it is now much better than before. Though, it still needs to be done manually by clicking, but it is now better in that way. Which is kind of cool as well. I like it, and the auto-completion and all that stuff is pretty good as well. It is really compelling now, and the only thing remaining is the agentic stuff, which should follow soon as well. Overall, it's pretty cool. Anyway, share your thoughts below and subscribe to the channel. You can also donate via Super Thanks option or join the channel as well and get some perks. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.